Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming this evening. We are here for the American launch in New York City of Darren C. Demery's As We Refer to Our Bodies. I'm one of the openers. My name is John Thomas Menesini. I was born 5/12/75. I am a poet. So I'm going to open everything up here. Afterwards, I'm going to be followed by Jason Price Everett, who also published through 8 House Publishing, who is the publisher of Darren C. Demery's As We Refer to Our Bodies. And then there's a cat named James Little, who's going to be reading as well. And it's going to be awesome. So dig it. We got poems. Bath salt vaudeville for spat cannon. Who eats a face? I tried to cool my freak out with promethazine and dank. It was all or nothing from the get-go. Getting lifted, I let those screwed blue feathers release. Faded up far inside my head, craning out the window from on mine's precipice, looking down on all this shit. Bald spots like mine, like motherfucking ants, and crickets in place of applause. Memories like a spoonful of pee. I remember when I was young, the woe, moan, and god-awful groan of stomachache winds on dismal Sunday afternoons. The sound of a squeaking swing, Psalm's child swaying pitiful from neglect in a small-town ballpark. And over yonder, if you cared to look that far, sat the rusted red bridge marked with lewd slogans where all the bad kids with dirty freckles and spotted gap teeth who smoked stolen cigarettes would curse and throw rocks at birds. The dandelions poke up their heads through the soggy paper cups and cola cans in the crabgrass outfield of the baseball park, and the orange neon cross stays lit all night, like the soda machine next to the laundromat, or inside a dated arcade classic flashes silent and stupid for all the worn, peeling olive green washing machines. The kindergarten. Mrs. Mungai gave us thick-ass crayons, brick blocks for little fat fingers which sat flat in their big square box. And drat the dreaded red chair where you had to sit if a line was crossed. You'd have to eat grandma's lunch alone. My cold French toast wrapped in tin foil, or peanut butter and butter saltine crackers with fruit punch in a dirty thermos. This began my life as an observer. Phantom musings from afar, ghostly tendrils blossom to search within the cardboard brick block cities, watching pink fat dirty paws push Fisher-Price cars. The politics of life were never different. It's been the same singular moment since I can remember. The war began when we had to be social for the first time, formally, at age 5. My hot seat was my throne, a soiled, spoiled prince, surrounded and alone. Then Mr. Brown, the most beautiful custodian, would bring in the crates of milk. Always chocolate in a brown box, never a whole white in the red. July 4 canker sore. Red, white, and blue star-spangled small-town parade. Hordes of drunken volunteer firemen from all over the damn districts ride through the main drags on blaring fire engines and toss penny candy to cross-eyed children in tank tops. Another one from when I was 8. We knew him to see him, never by name. Women's glasses, too big for his face. Blue knit cap, bad teeth, oily black cactus needle hairs poke through his rubbery cheeks. Trash bags full of the free romance novels from the box in front of the library. He was always there, filling up on the worst of the forgotten. You smelled that same smell we're all familiar with. Piss, sour, sweat, old, stale, mad. He'd spend time with the born-again couple in the trailer next to my mom's. A husband and wife, so tragic, so perfect, a living, breathing, hating reason behind the harsh stereotype. She was easily 300 pounds and never out of a baby blue moo-moo that had yellow shit stains on the ass ever so faint. He was 135 pounds wet, greasy, thick-haired, with that awful serial killer side part. He beat the shit out of her regularly. You could hear it through the whole park. Her wailing, the sound of her whaled body slammed against the aluminum wood walls. And we, like everyone else, never did a thing except listen in the dark, hating ourselves and everyone else. I always wondered what the fuck they talked about. They said this guy didn't have a home, that he slept outside, or in the gray shack at the foot of the thin patch of trees that we kids naively called woods on the other side of town. And legend was, if you went near there, man, and he caught you, he'd hook up your testicles to a car battery, or hold you at knife point while he flicked your pecker with his dirty fingers. And supposedly he had this huge greasy cock that was crooked and black and looked like it was used to stoke a fireplace. Well, that was fucking retarded. But we were fucking retards with nothing to talk about down in a dead town. He would walk the old trestle back and forth to get from wherever it was he actually lived to the library or the trailer park. And it was on this trestle where he lost his footing that shitty winter back when and fell 100 feet down. He wasn't found until summer, after the thaw, when the body began to putrefy and gave off that malodorous stench of rotten cabbage, which alerted a local family to call the police. His headless corpse at first aroused suspicion until it was determined that because of the severity of the broken neck he sustained from the fall, the head had completely separated and was held on only by skin. And after that skin was eaten away by scavengers, they were able to make off with the whole fucking thing. We all knew, but said nothing. Some lucky bastard carrion eater had quite a unique and remarkable feast after all those long, long months of cold, cold, winter, nothing. The good old days. Men were men, thus performed appendectomies on themselves while they delivered babies and smoked Chesterfields. Women were hysterical and made pies, which were stolen from windows by hobos. Amphetamines were freely prescribed to combat lethargy or lost hope. Tit fucks were 10 cents if you fancy. And we drank whiskey all day long for no reason at all. Fine lines. Everything in this goddamn world is a work of art. However, not everything should be made into, nor the subject of, a work of art. Unmistakable sound of razor-sharp razor, fresh from paperboard cup, clacks on glass. But I'm not talking about those kinds of lines. I'm talking about the fine lines of restraint or endure, further or fuck it all. Every poem is a gamble. Every time ideas meet flesh, become viscera, we stick our necks on the sticky, bloody black sap block and wait. This is a poem that's for Jason Price Everett. It's also a poem for Jackie Curtis. It's called The Madcap Stand-Up to Joan of Arc. My cock on a saucer for some go-go dancing bitch? Please, dearie. Jean-Baptiste. What a crack-up. Canned laugh track. Remember this one time, man. This one time, they burned me on a stick for being a heretic. A stick even. Poor old bastard rotten-toothed Saxons had an agenda. After all, the sun never sat until it did. And my reeking presence put hurdles on their path. For the love of St. Politico, fucking men. Brains, balls, flask, wallet. Body of commerce, for the first time ever. Body of the fallen and risen, only Son of our Heavenly Father, on the market. Available Friday at 10 a.m. First come, first served. Brains, balls, flask, wallet. Flesh bubbled, burned, then stank. Turning black, I did not scream much. Removed loins, arms, legs, stick entrails torn from torn asphalt shown to my lopped-off head. And you know, it was about 15 seconds I was aware before that final curtain. And oh, they had a jolly good laugh watching Edward fuck my bloody windpipe. Filmed in front of a live studio audience. Thank you. Walking behind a hooker. Tight brown body poured into tiger print dress, waddled thin athletic ass down the sidewalk. Laundry day and a hooker in front of me. A real hooker too, old school. Not like the current crop who bear more resemblance to Ned Beatty than Sybil Shepherd or Faye Dunaway. Like the hookers of my yester-youth on Liberty Avenue corners. Wigs, skirts, glitter. Tailgating alone at PNC Park during field trip day, haiku. 100 third graders pass me, pounding beers alone at 10 a.m. Stricken with the horrors. I have a closet wherein dwell derelict skeletons, a peripheral haunting and black refuse bags blown away, caught in cross branches of locust trees, to loom stupid and a non-menacing reminder of possible failure and present fear. Flapping empty death plastic, hurdles and burdens in the goop of my soul. Thick, spit-slit mouthfuls of lead-lung cancer plucked free finally, as another period of birthing straddles the hawthorn saddle of autumn nigh, and gold, the horizon, waits. I stabbed romantic whimsy in the eye. Growing old means deja vu no longer represents something mystical or fanciful, but instead implies you have a brain tumor. A poem for Jack Kerouac, March 12, 2012. It's your birthday, you louse, moony, broody souse, and the sweet snatch who decades ago waited for you to throw night pebbles out their windows with the promise of pure and savage kicks, now fidget in their clothes, adjust their breasts, and don't even know your furrowed brow. When once a household name, whether it were zealous kids who swung their own wry pencils, or terrified anger-faced champions who hid behind lifetimes of cold and useless cocks, you were on top, in Time magazine and beyond. But now your legacy is almost as cryptic as your own thoughts on fame. Old newspapers blowing down Bleecker Street. A poem for Charlie Parker. At age 16 in Kansas City, rolled up strips of Benzedrine and coffee and thus blew for days. Bird played his horn for cows and man. His alto broke cadence evermore, blew that good Chinese shit. New languages wailed from the bell, demanding, troubled, sick. Charlie Parker never chased no dragons. Junk chased Charlie Parker, but could not keep pace. Always moving forward, never stopping until he collapsed and died laughing. Poem for William Burroughs, Junkyard Blues. Well, you can't come, like you can't write, and Coma Sea shall see her souled shells slur. Bitter-blown shots and half-swollen cocks, horny over Beethoven's choral joy ode. Angelic ascent of golden burst, then itch ball skin pinched between two fingers. Gray skies look back unafraid, slow motion birdwing, tree branch in the faint breeze blinks. Eyelashes that frame the sky's sclera. Toothless ghosts of 103rd and Broadway. Benches worn smooth by the eternal waiting junkie ass. Blank as a fart, as old man balls. Like the cat on the pier in the shade along the Harlem River, who was nodding, napping, or dying. And this is the last poem, Upper East Side Haiku. The hunky children test the patience of stoic, creamy, brown nannies. Word. Thank you very much. This is fucking great.